TSMC has exploded higher plus 6.94% to $462.12, a historic single-session move that demands your attention. In this video we break down what is driving this and what it means. Welcome to MTRS_Market Pulse. It is Sunday, June 21st, and this is your complete global market briefing. It is a split session across global markets. This comes as Brent rises after US-Iran peace talks in Geneva are abruptly postponed, adding pressure to energy markets. Let us start with a quick look at how the major global markets are positioned today. Starting with the major global indices. S&P 500 edged higher plus 1.08% to $7,500.58. Equity markets are responding to reports that are stock market today. S&P 500 jumps 1.1%, NASDAQ soars 1.5% as Wall Street shrugs off Fed jitters NDTV profit. NASDAQ 100 climbed plus 2.48% to $30,406. Investor sentiment is being shaped by TSMC leads Nvidia in short week chip gains, tech stock squared. Dow Jones is broadly flat at $51,565, awaiting a fresh catalyst. Investor sentiment is being shaped by a stock market today. S&P 500 jumps 1.1%, NASDAQ soars 1.5% as Wall Street shrugs off Fed jitters NDTV profit. DAX is broadly flat at $24,986, awaiting a fresh catalyst. This comes as Brent rises after US-Iran peace talks in Geneva are abruptly postponed, adding pressure to energy markets. FTSE 100 is trading lower by minus 0.35%, at $10,363. Equity markets are responding to reports that are stock market today. S&P 500 jumps 1.1%, NASDAQ soars 1.5% as Wall Street shrugs off Fed jitters NDTV profit. Now let us turn to some of the biggest names in global equities. TSMC surged plus 6.94% to $462.12 in a significant session. N2 node ramp is the most important near-term catalyst. Demand from Apple, Nvidia, and AMD exceeds current capacity. The geopolitical Taiwan risk is the permanent discount the stock will carry, but the fundamental earnings power is exceptional. Arizona fab progress and US CHIPS Act subsidy clarity are the structural positives. Infosys made a dramatic move today, plunged minus 6.75% to 1,051.40 Indian rupees. Operating margin trajectory toward the 19 to 21% target is back on track. The risk is North America financial services softness. Any new large deal announcement, particularly in European manufacturing, would be a meaningful catalyst given the diversification it signals. BHP plunged minus 5.60% to $61.40 in a significant session. China property market stabilization is the single biggest catalyst for iron ore, and hence BHP near-term earnings. Any positive PMI or construction data from China would move the stock. The copper growth story is intact regardless. Northrop Grumman made a dramatic move today, plunged minus 5.21% to $521.50. The B-21 Raider production ramp is the centerpiece, a multi-decade revenue stream with limited competition. Space and missile defense segment growth reflects the elevated threat environment. Any program update would be market moving. Now let us dig into the macro picture driving these moves. Geopolitical risks remain elevated. This comes as Brent rises after US-Iran peace talks in Geneva are abruptly postponed, adding pressure to energy markets. This is keeping traders cautious and supporting flows into defensive assets. The key macro overlay remains monetary policy. Equity markets are responding to reports that are stock market today. S&P 500 jumps 1.1%, NASDAQ soars 1.5% as Wall Street shrugs off Fed jitters NDTV profit. Any surprise in the rate path could trigger outsized moves. On the data front, investor sentiment is being shaped by a stock market today. S&P 500 jumps 1.1%, NASDAQ soars 1.5% as Wall Street shrugs off Fed jitters NDTV profit. Turning to commodities. Brent crude edged higher to $80.59 per barrel, up 0.93% on the session. This comes as Brent rises after US-Iran peace talks in Geneva are abruptly postponed, adding pressure to energy markets. WTI crude held steady to $76.54 per barrel, down 0.08% on the session. This comes as Brent rises after US-Iran peace talks in Geneva are abruptly postponed, adding pressure to energy markets. Natural gas dipped to $3.20, down 1.08% on the session. This comes as Brent rises after US-Iran peace talks in Geneva are abruptly postponed, adding pressure to energy markets. Gold dipped to $4,172.90 per troy ounce, down 1.21% on the session. The gold move is partly driven by gold fails the safe haven test again, Fisher Investments. Let us give you our near-term view on TSMC. From a momentum perspective, the next key resistance for TSMC sits around $489.85. A sustained break above that level could attract further institutional buying. The main risk to the upside scenario is a shift in macro conditions or central bank tone. This is our analytical view, always do your own research. In the currency markets, Euro to US dollar is at 1.15, losing 0.33% on the day. Pound sterling to US dollar is at 1.32, gaining 0.27% on the day. US dollar to Japanese yen is at 161.28, losing 0.01% on the day. Currency markets are reacting to 90% silver half dollars, the 1964 secret most people miss. Most people don't realize that half dollars minted before 1965 contain 90% silver. At Money Metals, we sort thousands of Walking Liberty, Franklin, and Kennedy half dollars every year. If you're stacky, LinkedIn. Here is what we will be watching closely in the days ahead. Keep a close eye on central bank speakers and rate commentary, and key economic data releases. Any one of these could be the catalyst that defines the next major directional move. We do the research so you do not have to hours of analysis distilled into actionable daily briefings. If that is valuable, please hit the like button. It is the single best way to support independent market analysis and help us reach more investors. Subscribe and turn on notifications for tomorrow's briefing. Drop your view in the comments. Are you bullish or bearish from here? That wraps up today's coverage from MTRS_Market Pulse. This content is for educational purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own research. Stay disciplined, and we will see you tomorrow. That is your full global market briefing from MTRS_Market Pulse. Subscribe and turn on notifications for daily updates.